We're back for today's episode of the Part 2's explore of the abandoned secrets of Midhurst. On today's episode, we're going to check out these huge abandoned railway tunnels which run for miles under the ground, and even find some old relics left behind from the railway line. And that's not all. Watch as we take you onto the mountain bike trails and show you some of the awesome trail dogs what live local to the area. And come and join us as we head off into the deep woodlands in the snow in search for one of the top secret snow bunkers what remain in the area, and it's absolutely covered in bullet holes. To start today's adventure, we're going to jump in the car and we're heading off to the small countryside village of Rogate. So what better to do than get the drone in the air and show you guys just what this small village has to offer. Located in the western part of the Rother Valley lies the small countryside village of Rogate. It is just 5.6 miles west of Midhurst and 5 miles east of Petersfield. The village itself derives its name from Rogate, and from medieval times it was the first and one of the largest of the valley communities. Not far from this area there's two fine stone medieval bridges spanning over the River Rother, which can be dated way back to the medieval times. These old stone bridges were built by the monks of Durford Abbey and were founded by the Premonstratensian canons in the 12th century. But that's not all what remains today of the history in this old countryside village of Rogate. Hidden away on top of the hill in the middle of a farmer's field lies the remains of this secret underground nuclear bunker, also referred to as an ROC post. An ROC post stands for the Royal Observer Corps Monitoring Posts, what are underground bunkers all over the United Kingdom. They were constructed as a result of the Royal Observer Corps nuclear reporting role and operated by volunteers during the Cold War between 1955 and 1991, and normally have a very similar kind of hatch and shaft running down under the ground. Sadly, since we have visited this old ROC bunker, somebody has been out and set fire to everything what remains inside.
You make the Lord very nervous.
Alright.
I'm burning now.
Take it easy.
Hellfire is burning me, Lord.
Which leads us on to our next part of the video, still in the village of Rogate. On the opposite side of the village lies a small little wooded area which gives home to Rogate Downhill Bike Park. If you're near the area and looking for a real good fun day out, then this one really is a must visit. With an amazing variety of trails what are packed into a relatively small area, where it's steep, technical downhills or fast flowing jump lines, Rogate Downhill has it all. Due to its sandy soil, even in wet weather when other trails have all turned to gloop, the Rogate Bike Park trails still run very well. Now whether you're into your adrenaline experiences, you want to purchase yourself a brand new mountain bike, or even just some of the best products for you and your four-legged friend, then be sure to click the link in the description at the end of the video and get ready for your next awesome adventure.
Bruh.
Aha! So in the distance, guys, I've just come across this, and I can see an old bridge. Now this looks more like the old railway line because it's raised, like a raised platform going up. Now I would have said this is where the railway would have actually ran. So let's get up there and let's go check out this little railway bridge. Now can you see the hill over there in the distance? Now this hill, this would have been raised for a platform for the train to run along. Now I'll try and get up there and see if we can actually go over the bridge, but first of all let's get under it and see a house through the other side. What a lovely house. So look at this bridge, guys.
Way back in 1857, on August the 10th, the Mid-Sussex Railway Company was authorised to construct a railway line. This particular railway line was the Midhurst to Petworth extension, which opened in 1866 on the 15th of October, with Selham being the only stop between the two.
Look at the damp areas on this bridge. which I can imagine this would have been really nice little train ride to come down here on the train through all these trees and everything. And I can see as we're walking up, there's actually another bridge coming up, another little bridge what would have gone over top of the railway. And again, now you can see how the verges have changed now. They've gone from us being right up on top of everywhere, being able to see, to down in this sort of like gully. Look at these trees, how they all come up, guys. I'll turn you around and just show you behind us where we've just come from and how we're walking down into this pine forest.
This Midhurst to Petworth railway line was actually closed off in stages, starting with the passenger trains from the 7th of February in 1955 to then move on to goods services, which were withdrawn from Selham and Fittleworth in 1963.
The trees actually growing out of the bridge now. And look down here, this is where we've yet to walk. And the old railway line.
We're often asked in lots of the videos about Callie's dog harness. Where we're out and about so often, it's very important to us that Callie has a very comfortable dog harness in order to fit and not make her sore. Now what we've done is we've made it as easy for you as possible so that your four-legged friend can get a top of the range dog harness what's comfortable for them at a fantastic price. Whether they choose to chase sticks or run in the sea, having the time of their lives. And in some cases even sit in the snow. Which leads us on to the next part of today's adventure. Hidden away in this snowy patch of woodlands on the outskirts of Midhurst lies the snow bunker. But in order to get to its exact location, we've got to get down into the snow and start making our way into the woods in search for this pillbox bunker. As soon as we got out the car, the whole woodlands was so quiet and still that we pressed on through the first set of trees and up to the ridgeline. After getting deeper and deeper into the woodlands, it felt like we were never going to find it. And just as we were about to give up, we come to the top of the ridgeline, and sure enough, there it was, just tucked away in the side of the hill. Back in 1940 there were over 18,000 pillboxes what were built, but this one sits completely alone in the landscape.
People would have shot out of here many years ago. Now you can see these holes in the wall. Now these would have been bullet holes here. You can actually see this. These old holes in the wall where someone would have been shooting back. Probably from a distance over that way. These old gun holes in the wall. So they would have been firing out of these gun ports, and you can see here there's another big hole in there. That would have been there. And there. And there. There's lots of holes here. What would have been hit? But they would have been firing at this wall here to try and get inside these holes and shoot the people firing out of this old gun port. But how cool is that? Look at these. You can see the impact mark. Take you down here and you can see it's all dug out. And it goes down. Oh, you can go in, guys. Oh wow, look in here, guys, you can see. It goes right round, and looks right round, you can see how.
Hidden away in a small village of Cocking lies Crypt Lane, and it is the spot of our next location. As Cocking was known for its chalk and lime quarry, running just off this country lane is a turquoise blue duck pond which is carved into the chalk bed. As we slowly make our way round the duck pond, it leads us to our first tunnel location.
Gorgeous pond, look at the colour of that water.
These disused tunnels are the 5th most important site for hibernating bats in Britain, and is one of the most important in the southeast of England. And this particular tunnel is one of the only sites known in the country for the greater mouse-eared bat. Also once used for storing ammunition in overnight and part of the Midhurst to Singleton railway line. Now let's move on to our next part of the adventure, still in the village of Cocking, and show you guys just what we found inside these massive railway tunnels. Tucked away in a small patch of woodlands on the outskirts of the village lies the abandoned remains of the Cocking lime and chalk quarry. Since 1999 the site has been left completely abandoned, and you can see the 8 large kilns here just on the right hand side. The earliest known mention of lime workings in the parish of Cocking was in 1715 when the Cowdray Estate documents related to 2 isolated kilns being used. In September of the year 1833, a man by the name of William Marshall was killed by an earthquake in the chalk pit at Cocking. But all what remains today is this old abandoned lorry and these massive kilns, which leads us on to the next part of today's adventure, the Midhurst Tunnel. Tucked away in a small wooded area on the outskirts of Midhurst lies this old disused railway tunnel known as the Midhurst Tunnel. As you approach the entrance, it's built in a large horseshoe shape with winged walls on either side. With the rusty metal fence across the entrance, we quickly made our way through the gap and we were in.
Into the tunnel we go. Got small glass all over the floor in here.
As we carefully make our way down inside this tunnel, we have to be careful due to the tunnel itself was closed due to partial collapse. As we got deeper into the tunnel, it all of a sudden turned really damp and felt like it had started raining where water was dripping from the ceiling of this tunnel.
So that obviously, that would have been one of the pins.
Thanks for watching guys, make sure you like and subscribe and we'll catch you on our next adventure. Bye guys.